Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event Fightcast. I'm your host, Vega, alongside my co-host, Coach Mike. And as you well know, there was no UFC this week. So we had to watch PFL. When I say we had to watch PFL, let me be very clear. It was a fun event.
It was good.
It was fun. It was fun. It wasn't great, but it was fun. It was definitely not, if it had competition, I probably wouldn't have tuned in, right? But it was fun outside of that. From the beginning to like midway through was pretty crazy with all of the finishes. Like it was a pretty dominant like performance night. Some pretty impressive performances. But again, like it's hard to even remember their names. Actually, I don't even think this has all the fights here. That's crazy. Oh no, there they are. Okay.
Yeah, it tends to be bad with names.
So I guess just thinking off of the main card or the people that I believe won championships, right? Yeah. Heavyweight championship, Goltsov versus Popov. Homie called out Francis Ngannou. This is the guy that won by like a weird backward submission, right? Like he was on the bottom and got the sub.
Yeah. But who wouldn't call out Francis Ngannou?
Yeah. In the PFL, if you're a heavyweight, you have to call out Francis. If you're in Bellator, that's how you get paid. You have to call out Francis. You get paid. Does Francis take the fight? Like, who does Francis fight next? Because there's rumors about him fighting Deontay Wilder. What do you want to see more, Deontay Wilder?
Are we talking about
Goltsov?
Do we believe that Deontay Wilder would do the 2-fight deal, once in MMA, once in boxing?
Probably not. I think it would just be a boxing thing.
Because if he can get both fights, that's what he would want to do. He would want to get the commitment of both.
Yeah, I don't think he will though. I think they'll get the boxing.
But realistically, nobody at heavyweight is big enough that you're like, I want to see him versus Francis. Yeah. It's almost like throwing him to the wolf. So
yeah, there really isn't a major name.
You have to win the tournament, and
even with this, like, unfortunately, we didn't really remember his name after he won. You know, good for you though. You got your $1 million. That's the key highlight for every single name we're about to go through on this list. This guy's name is fun. Rabadanov. Rabadanov. Primus versus Rabadanov is a great fucking fight name for cards. But Primus looked like Michael Chandler in this fight.
Well, they fought a couple times.
Yeah. So
they fought a couple times, but this was a bad matchup for him. He's a guy that wants to wrestle, going against a guy that is comfortable grappling.
Yeah, and strongly, Dagestani, as you pointed out while we were watching. But nothing super impressive about this fight either.
No.
Let's see. Molotov, Muzayev. Oh, this is the one. Yeah. This one was crazy. He had a nice finish on that.
It doesn't show the results there to even remind you. I don't know.
Nah, it just says winner because, that's way better. Then you got to click the button, and then it shows you.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. It was
there
a
you
knockout.
go. Third round
TKO.
Knockout.
Yeah. But
oops.
It wasn't that memorable.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's welterweight. Do they beat the current welterweight champion, Bilal Muhammad? Do they beat anybody in the top 5?
Well, top 5 at welterweight is ridiculous.
Monstrous, bro. It's monstrous.
The question is, do they beat Brian Battle, who's not in the top 10?
Absolutely not.
And that's
a great measuring point. Mm-hmm. These guys, lightweight
is another stacked division, like, bro. Like,
we're not even going to talk about heavyweight. That's the league. Light heavyweight, Kasanganay versus Yagshimuradov. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
They were in a dogfight, and you just see
it was fast.
You just see them get stunned.
Them uppercuts were incredible, bro.
Well, he got stunned before that, and it was like he was just
trying to survive.
He was trying to survive like this and throwing punches, thinking that's the best defense instead of covering up. And it didn't go well. He ate some uppercuts that were vicious. He got to display how tough he was for a few, which isn't the best.
It was This one is a tough showing because it's one of those moments where it's like, this guy made the UFC. He didn't do anything super memorable. I mean, his biggest
his biggest memory
highlight is a bad one.
Yeah, his biggest memory in the UFC was getting knocked out by Buckley.
By a video game kick from Buckley.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a major surprise to most.
His story is still great, though.
You know?
He went from that to
sleeping in his car to winning PFL last year and making that mill. So not a bad deal.
He might have won it twice. Or was it just
I think he
once?
only won it once.
Okay.
He just won last year.
So this would have been a second.
Yeah, this would have been a second time. Now this fight.
How the mighty has
Ditcheva versus Talia Santos.
Listen, Talia Santos how the mighty has fallen. She was just in the UFC not too long ago. I thought she beat Valentina for the belt before Valentina dropped to Grasso. I thought she should have won that decision. And then to get cut and be on a losing streak.
Be on a losing streak, and then this type of dominant performance where you get
she got destroyed.
Smoked body, head, every direction.
Yeah, she got destroyed.
And obviously this is the biggest conversation brewing on the internet right now. Ditcheva, is she ready for the UFC? If she's ready for the UFC, where does she come in, right? Does she come in as a contender? Is this another one that Dana steals from PFL, a la Kayla Harrison, right? And what are our thoughts? Like, who does she really look good against, right?
Who does she look good against?
Yeah.
Who
do you have?
I was thinking more like, where do you place her? Like, I'd like to see her versus Rose.
Nah, that's way too fast. Jesus Christ, bro. You got Natalia Silva. You got, Lord, I just drew a blank on her name now.
Yeah, I believe Natalia Silva.
Grasso.
Is going to be ranked higher than Rose right now. Maybe.
Yeah, probably because Rose just took that loss.
Yeah, who did she just beat? Natalia Silva's coming off an impressive win.
Yeah, off a really good win.
I don't remember who it was, but she definitely came off a...
That would be wild if they put her against Rose.
No, I think that'd be the path if she came in. Rose is not ranked high.
Yeah, but she's a former champion still.
That she is, which is why I'm saying that, like, that's the selling point. If not, where were we talking? Are we talking her versus Tracy Cortez?
That's a good fight. That's exciting. Do it Kevin Holland style, where it's like Kevin Holland versus MVP, where the thing they're really fighting for is like, do you belong in the UFC? Where are you fighting cans?
Speaking of Paige, you saw who he signed on to fight. Shara.
Oh yeah, Shara Bullet. Paige versus Shara Bullet in January. That's gonna be crazy. That's a nice kickboxing match.
But yeah, if the drop off from there is a lot though. I think she's ready for a Rose fight.
The real interesting question about that is, does she even want to? Right? Because we were talking about the math while we were watching PFL, right? Like the math on it, you win these 4 or 5, I think it's 4 or 5 fights in 8 months, and you got $1 million, right? UFC, it's unlikely you'll have 4 or 5 fights in 8 months, let alone that your contract will grant you to a point where you make $1 million.
I mean, yeah, it's betting on yourself. You can
betting on how fast you can become a champion and maximize the potential.
Already winning $1 million, already winning the championship there, and then coming and trying to prove that this isn't. I'm not just the best in the PFL. I'm the best in the world. Putting your money where your mouth is. Endorsement wise, it could
be huge.
It could get her a lot higher than $1 million.
Super lucrative. But remember, in PFL, they can sell their own sponsor spots.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of things that come into play.
I'd be excited to see her join the UFC. I just personally, I don't know enough about her to know if that's the direction she would lean, but just on the conversation she had after her fight in the ring, you know, it seems like she has a really strong relationship with PFL, and she might not leave them because of that. Then we had the main event of the evening. Isn't that crazy? The main event of the evening, Brendan Loughnane versus Tamir Khazriev.
Try to remember, put the stat thing.
This was a unanimous decision.
Oh, okay. This is the one it went to the judges.
Yeah, decision round 3.
Once again, is the main event.
That's weird. Look, the Smart Cage doesn't have any information. They don't have any information on their website.
All the stats is unofficial still.
That's crazy.
I mean,
yeah. So that was PFL this week.
That's probably why I don't remember it. It was a lot of finishes, and that one did not have a finish.
Yeah, no finish. It looked like there was a couple times where there could have been a finish, and remember, Brendan had a real bloody face.
Yes. He
was rocked heavy.
There you go. Okay. He was getting beat up.
Yeah, he was getting beat up bad. But he managed to survive it the whole way, and that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, after a while, you figured there wasn't a finish coming, but...
Yeah, he was too tough. He was too tough to get finished. But...
At one point, he almost turned the tide, but it didn't last too long.
With it being Thanksgiving and all, there wasn't really a ton of MMA news this week. So what we've got is probably going to feel like a short episode because we're diving right into UFC 310, which surprisingly has become one of the most exciting UFC cards for me this year. It slowly has turned into something really, really exciting.
I mean, it might have not tapped in crazy into the U.S. market, but with just that signing and throwing them right into the main event, it might have tapped into a whole nother market. So I think this might be big time. This might be a big
card. I mean, second fight of the night is one I'm super excited for. Chase Hooper versus Clay Guida.
Bro, right, the baby versus the old man.
This is going to be amazing.
I'll be honest with you. Chase plays with his food. Clay will hurt him.
That's the problem. Chase don't be getting to it.
Clay Guida will hurt you.
So right now, Clay Guida's plus 550. So that's a good dog to look at just on that. Like I said, like you said, just on the upside of Chase Hooper has a habit,
But he is a dog.
Then we got Michael Chiesa versus Max Griffin, which I think that's just going to be a weird, sloppy banger of a fight. That's just going to be fun to watch.
I wish Max wasn't coming off a loss, so he would have been a bigger favorite. But I like Michael Chiesa.
Hey, Michael for this one?
Yeah.
Chiesa for that action? Cody Durden versus Joshua Van.
One of my favorites.
I miss Joshua Van. It's been a while since I've seen him, since he's fought. I think his last fight, he was the loss, right?
I feel like this is 3 fights.
Yeah, it's 3 fights in a year, but they were a little bit spread out.
He lost and then he won his last fight.
That's what it was. Lost to Charles Johnson, won his last fight. And now he's up against Cody Durden, which I think Joshua Van has the slight advantage here and should be good for the win. But I am, again, really excited for this fight because, Joshua Van is back on the card, baby. Let's get this work done.
I like Joshua. Oh, they put it back on?
I can't believe this is still a fight, bro.
I mean...
Chris Weidman versus Eric Anders. Prepare yourself for a sloppy eye poke fest on behalf of Chris Weidman. That's really all I got to say for him, bro. As long as his opponent lets him do it, the ref lets him do it.
Until he gets through a fight without it, it's that's all we're gonna go back to. But Randy
Brown
being
versus
a gangster
Brian Battle.
This fight.
Whoo! This is gonna be a banger.
Yeah, I think so.
This is gonna be a banger.
I think so. I think Randy Brown gets his lights turned off.
Oh yeah. I feel like I think it ends up being a TKO stoppage. He doesn't get fully put out because Brian Battle has a habit of not actually getting the power finish. But I still think Brian Battle is the man to go with on this one. He's coming in. He's coming in hot off of that France win. We got to see what his energy is going to be like this week, leading through the press conference and everything. But I'm excited. And I am excited for Randy Brown because I think Randy is going to be an interesting test for him because he is pretty dangerous. We're not talking about a simple... back and forth. Should be interesting. This fight is finally happening. Are you still excited about it?
Put into the prelims, disrespect for my boy Aljo is so crazy.
Movsar Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. Like you said, move to the prelims. Yeah. It's crazy. But at least it's happening. At least it's still happening. I'm excited because they're finally going to have this beef situation situated. I know they're going to give us some fire nonsense during the press conference. Because Movsar don't really speak that well. Aljo's gonna be cracking jokes. It's gonna be a fun press conference. I don't love Aljo's style all the time, so I can't say it's gonna be a fun fight that I'm excited for. But I am always excited for Aljo to fight because I love his press.
I mean, it's two grapplers. One doesn't finish, really. Well, we haven't seen Mozart finish at all.
Nah, I think he's always gone to decision.
Yeah.
Let's double check while we got everything right up in front of us.
No, he won. It's true. He has some knockouts.
4 by sub, 3 by wins.
I don't think they're the UFC.
Out of 18 fights.
Yeah, I don't think they're the UFC.
Let's see. Decision.
I don't think any of his finishes are
Decision. I think that's it.
Not in the UFC.
Decision. God damn.
Yeah,
My boy be decided. Word. Yeah, so that just kind of further proves the point that, like, I'm not really excited for the fight. I'm just excited for Aljo.
Aljo doesn't knock nobody out.
Ever.
But grappling, he's a finisher.
And he gets a couple subs in there.
He's a finisher.
Vicente Luque versus The Rock's favorite, Themba Gorimbo.
Let me see the odds, because I saw something.
Whoa!
Yes, I saw something crazy. I knew I was.
Whoa!
Yes. I seen somebody put, like, are they giving money away? Like, yeah, I believe.
I'm putting that bet as soon as we finish.
Yeah. I believe that's a.
I'm putting that bet as soon as we finish. That's crazy. Your boy Dominic Reyes being the underdog against Anthony Smith is also kind of crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, if you need a 2-fight parlay, that's the one right there.
This is the one right here because it's crazy.
Well, I'll throw Brian Battle in there as the third just because that's the for sure.
But you see what I mean? That this card has gotten surprisingly excited. Like, it's gotten really, really exciting.
Who's Nate the Train fighting again?
Nate the Train versus Doo-Ho Choi. I think he just got a knockout in his last fight.
Yeah, I like Doo-Ho Choi in this.
So, you like Doo-Ho Choi in this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Nate.
You said Nate got a knockout?
No, Doo-Ho.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I know Doo-Ho's the one that we thought was on Ring Rust. And
Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bryce is minus 520, as he should be against.
As he should be, but I've never seen him as such a favorite.
No, I don't think I've ever seen him as that big of a
It's crazy. I'm not excited for that fight at all. Like, I love Bryce Mitchell. This fight is going to be trash.
That fight can turn into some nonsense for real. I'm not going to lie.
The Gracie legacy is being destroyed right now.
Cyril Gane is out there saying he just wasn't himself.
I agree. I don't think he was himself that day. But we don't find out because he's going against Alexander Volkov with his own top-notch level of grappling that he just displayed against Sergey Pavlovich. So, this is going to be an opportunity for Cyril Gane to really prove himself.
It's a rematch.
And then see what happens next.
It's a rematch after a new perspective.
Right. On both sides.
Which I explained last time on the show.
On both sides.
How Alexander fought him before, but he never thought to take him down and sub him like John Jones did so very quickly.
Yep. And then we got, say it with me, Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian Machado Gary for, I'm guessing, a title shot? Because, Shavkat's a gangster for this, right? Because if you really think about it, this was his title fight. And Bilal got injured. He could have just kicked back and waited. He was like, nah, bro, I'm so sick at this shit that I'm going to whoop everybody's ass they put in front of me. And Ian is next.
Well, he's probably tired of being inactive, bro.
Yeah.
Like they were legit looking at him as the boogeyman. Nobody was taking the fight to the point that, like you explained last time, like he wrote out a full
thank you
to Ian Gary for taking the fight in the most gangster way by saying thank you, even though you know what was going on in the gym the times that we've sparred.
You put in your O on the line for this right now, and I really appreciate it. There's been some conversation about the fact that he loves horse meat. That is his preferred meat. It's horse meat. Horse steaks, horse burgers. How do you feel about eating horses? Bro, if it's going to make me that strong...
Maybe.
I couldn't think of a horse name to make the joke with. But
that's the problem. Like, Hey, is it healthy? I don't know.
I don't know, but I wouldn't trust it. But again, how could you not? It's working for Shavkat.
It's a scary man, though.
And finally, last but not least, Alexadre Pantoja versus UFC debut Kai Asakura for
The
the
flyweight.
flyweight title.
Like, I cannot.
What a sentence.
Yeah, his debut, man. His debut
What a
is going to
sentence.
be against the champion.
I am so glad he's the underdog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm super happy he's the
I mean,
underdog.
how could he not?
Okay, I mean, theoretically, right, the whole reason he's coming into this situation is because somebody amongst the matchmakers believes that him being champion at Ryzen is enough to qualify him for a shot against this champion. Right now, you're not booking this fight expecting the loss.
At the moment where Alexadre has basically wiped out the division.
Right.
And
so, you bringing in Kai, and theoretically,
it's like a perfect storm.
You're basically saying like this guy should be able to beat Alexadre because you're not going to bring somebody in just to lose. Are you? Unless you're trying to prove dominance over the other organization.
You can't bring somebody in to fight the champion if you don't believe he has a chance.
Right. That's craziness.
An undefeated young fighter. Why would you throw him into the wolves? You never threw Page into the wolves when there was always jokes about, they were hiding them. They were hiding them. Once you signed them, you didn't throw them into the wolves. You protected them. Older fighter who you don't have for long.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that with a young fighter? So you're not doing that if you don't believe he has a chance.
Right.
And like we've previously spoke about, the jokes is, this is going to be a disqualification. Most of his fights, he finishes with these strikes that are illegal. A lot of them are not illegal anymore.
Right.
And
we talked about that.
While
before.
it might be difficult for him to hold back on the ones that are still illegal,
there's a lot less of them to worry about.
It's a lot less of them to worry about, and Pantoja has never defended these strikes at all.
Right.
At all.
Wasn't it 2 weeks ago somebody threw 12-6 elbows and they were like, look, the John Jones.
And listen, if you've never had to deal with it, it's something different.
It's a brand new look.
I think that all of that plays a part into why they threw him into the title shot. And I'll be honest, if you want to make a dog parlay of 3, why not?
Why not?
Kai, Dom Reyes, and
Themba, because that number is insane.
Yeah, why not? That's a big come up right there. You throw $5-10 on that. It's a nice little come up. 3 underdogs.
I feel that, but that's all of the betting advice we're gonna give for this week. And like I said, it was a slow weekend because it's PFL's turn to have a holiday weekend, I guess. So
not just PFL.
Like
we had some
fun. We had some fun with SmackDown. That's right. We had some fun with SmackDown, right? That's what it was.
You watched SmackDown. We watched SmackDown after we watched the PFL. Yes.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's right. Friday was SmackDown. Saturday was
Ward Games.
Yep. And it's funny because the fighting still doesn't feel any more interesting to me. Right, no. But I am attached to some of the storylines.
Yeah, storylines.
Right? The storylines are very, very interesting, and but I am confused as to like what was the point of this fight, this War Games thing? Like, what is the conversation at the end of this now? Like, what did we prove? The bad guys are still the bad guys. The good guys are still fragmented.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. They were at a point where the OG bloodline had been losing so much and taking so much L's and stuff like that.
I missed that.
That they need. It's more like the victories are bringing them together. Like Roman was just not accepting Sammy recently. Jay was not tagging Roman when.
Yeah, I saw that.
Was asking for it a couple weeks ago. Like.
So this was like the working together work.
It's more bringing of them together, like, because the whole time the new bloodline has been together and moving as a unit.
Yeah.
So it's just part of that. That's part of the storyline. They have to break them, and we'll see. There's rumors that they've signed Omaga's son, although he tweeted and deleted immediately. So
That's funny.
yeah, trust me, the storyline gets better. The Rock talked about he likes a long storyline, anyways.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see how much more of it I can keep tapped into. But I think that wraps it up for us this week, folks. Thank you for tuning in. You could make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at WhatUpVega. You can follow Mike at SFBigMike. And we will see you guys, hopefully, with a lot more to talk about next week after this incredible pay-per-view night.
For sure,
that should happen.
For sure.
This should be an amazing pay-per-view.
Yeah.
On paper,
I mean,
pay-per-view.
how could it be a dud?
And you just heard the lineup, bro. There was only like 4 fights that I skipped over that don't sound that interesting.